I'm Luke. Today on Out of Darts, I got sent this really big box. It just appeared. Let's take a look. Darts. This is the X-Shot Crusher. It is a semi-automatic, rapid-fire mechanical blaster, and this was sent to me by Zuru over at the X-Shot brand. And I'm a little late to the party, I have to admit. There have been a lot of new things going on here at Out of Darts, and we are staying quite busy. So this blaster is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Even though when I first heard about it, I actually thought it was going to be a flywheeler. Mostly because of the drum they sent me, or the magazine rather. So we'll get to that in a moment, but first let's get this out of the package. The Crusher is a chain-fed blaster. It uses a very simple modular chain here that you can snap together. And if you've been anywhere on the Nerf internet lately, you'll know that a number of us were sent a ridiculous size chain. This is over 1,000 rounds, and I had my buddy Brett by, and we had a little battle. So it takes a whole extra person just to run this thing because of the capacity and the size and the bulk. And so Brett and I each enlisted a fellow support team member and battled it out to see who could fire the 1,000 rounds first. Spoiler alert, I won. 1,000 rounds aside was a really fun blaster, but I want to review this in its actual stock configuration. I think these chain-fed magazines are really cool. I love the Stampede, of course, and when I was a kid, I believe there was a blaster. I want to say it's called the Ratchet Blast. I could have that wrong, but as a kid, I believe it came with 8 rounds. Now you have to remember, this is like 25-year-old memory here. I have not looked this up to talk about it. So someone correct me in the comments if it's not the Ratchet Blast and if it didn't have 8 rounds. That was one of our favorite blasters as a kid because at the time it actually had the highest ammo capacity of any of the very early Nerf blasters. So there's definitely a fondness for chains. I think the popularity of things like Captain Xavier's minigun have made this very compelling to cosmetic modders and practical modders alike. While the 1,000-round drum turned out to be very, very impractical due to size, a stripped-down version of, say, 100, 150, where it just hangs near the ground but not touching the ground, is actually fairly effective. The operation is very simple. It's a top prime with an actual trigger. I love the fact that there is a trigger, and of course it is slam fire. So if you hold this trigger, you can fire this as fast as you can. Now, no matter what you do, you are never going to be the fastest person out there because it has turned out that Bobo Lolo is absolutely unequivocally the fastest. So much so that he actually won the X-Shot Crusher Challenge, which was well-deserved considering how much effort he put in. I'll throw up some of his video on screen here. To load the chain, there's a simple unlock here which allows the chain guide to move freely, and then you're going to load from the right side, and you're going to lock that back up, and we are good to go. And I just love the look of that, kind of dangling around while you play. It's a very satisfying blaster to play with. I love the look and feel. I think cosmetic modders are going to have some fun retooling this for other purposes. The chains seem very durable. They're very easy to connect and disconnect and expand, and cool enough, they are also available separately. While the 1,000 rounds wasn't practical, I think my ideal setup is more around 100, 150 at most, because at that range it doesn't quite touch the ground, but I can still move around. That said, you could make a satchel or a collection on either side to both feed in and feed out, and that could be pretty fun on its own. The blaster is a really tremendous value. It's $25. It comes with 48 rounds and 35 chain. So really, for the blaster it is, I think it's a really good price. I think a lot of kids are going to have a lot of fun with this. I can't say it would be generally my first choice for an actual battle, given that it is a Springer and has a little bit of a bulky form factor, but overall it's a really, really fun blaster. We had a lot of fun shooting this at each other. I have to say, firing 1,000 rounds through this top handle was absolutely exhausting. You'll see in the video here, I actually had to keep switching sides and switching hands because my weak arms couldn't handle priming this blaster that many times. I don't anticipate this being a very heavy modding platform from a performance perspective. I think that the linkages in here might not be great for upgrading it, but I would love to hear from you in the comments if that's something you've already done. The performance on this blaster is pretty standard. It matches most of the competitors. The darts, however, are very much worth mentioning because they are a different design. While they are soft and designed well and the glue stays together, they are a different shape at the tip. So these aren't compatible with any magazine-fed blasters, so if you bring these on the battlefield, you do have to know that you can't interchange them with a lot of other blasters. They do function fine in front loaders like, say, a strong arm or a hammer shot, but you'll find a difficulty anything that's mag-fed or anything that has a tight bore down the barrel. This is also true for blasters like the Caliburn or the Dart Zone Pro or the Nexus Pro or the Aeon Pro. Any of these blasters are not going to fire this dart due to the wider head. Overall, I think this blaster, like I said before, is a tremendous value. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of joy out of this. I love how it's styled, it has a cool look, and it's an actual foam blaster minigun, which is pretty sweet. I did have this little dream the other week when I was trying to figure out what to do for a video with this, and that was to motorize the top slide. I think this could be done a number of ways. The most obvious would probably be a geared motor attached to this linkage here. That said, I have way too many projects going on right now to take on any more. I am committed to finishing the proton pack, which is back there, and that project is very close. We also have another very large surprise project coming from Tarek, a new design that he and I have been working on for quite some time, and that should be coming to the shop in the next few weeks. And I think you're all going to enjoy that quite a bit. So I can't tease it any more than that because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but a lot of fun stuff coming this winter. Out of Darts is also moving, and we will be in a new location. So bear with us while that happens. We'll have a lot more updates later on. I wanted to say thank you to X-Shot and Zuru Toys for sending me this blaster and this care package for review. Obviously, I was given this blaster at no cost. I am going to give away one of the blasters and the majority of the darts because it's taking up some major space around here, as you can see. Do hit that like and subscribe button. A lot more to come. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm out of darts.